So, oh no, there's Fern. Shit, Fern's early. My bad. No bad words, guys. We keep on trying to do no bad words. All right. So, but Fern's about to jump on. Let's see if he's eating some tacos or he's eating some flautas, whatever he's eating today. Oh man,
I'm actually eating mulitas today.
Oh, he's eating mulitas. I was gonna say, what is he eating today, bro? You know,
I'm eating mulitas today. Wearing my Josh Jacobs jersey. Leave me alone.
Stacks equals equality. Ooh.
No, quality, equality. But equality as well.
Equality as well, whatever, bro.
Well.
All right, man. What time is it? It's 7:00. All right, guys. Welcome to the Boxing Rundown. I'm your host, Boxing Ruckus, along with
Big Stack from Supreme Boxing.
Fern, always stuffing my face, eating and enjoying myself while we do this chat. You know how we do, guys. Let's go Raiders. I don't care about anybody else.
All right, but let's give them a shout out. Shout out to the Rams. Shout out to the Bengals. You guys are going to the Super Bowl. Hope you guys have a good game, man. That's about it. That's all you guys are going to get from us.
That's really all you're going to get.
So we are not Rams fans, or we're not.
I'm just watching it for the halftime show.
Oh, I'm just watching it for my numbers. Players. I got numbers.
I know we do what grinds my gears about boxing, but let me tell you what grinds my gears.
No, don't do it.
No. Let me tell you what grinds my gears about the Super Bowl. The idiot, and I'm sorry for generalizing this because it's mainly you people anyways, the idiotic females who always tweet or put on Facebook or put on a stupid IG story, oh my God, there's a concert in between this game. Shut the hell up. This has been announced a long time ago. It's unoriginal. It's not funny. Let us watch the game. If you want to watch the halftime show, cool. At the end of the day, guess what? This halftime show ain't for y'all anyways. Go back to watching Jennifer Lopez and Shakira. Leave us the hell alone.
That's right.
Hey, bro. They're already asking about Royal Rumble, bro. So, hey,
Royal Rumble was fantastic, baby. Loved it. Enjoyed it.
He'll give you guys a Royal Rumble report at the end of the show, man. I'll give Fern 2 minutes for the Royal Rumble report. But with that said, man, anybody else? Everybody said welcome, right?
Welcome, everybody.
We're ready to go?
Yes, we are. Always,
all right, man.
Always and forever.
Ooh, hey, Fern, dude, you're the new love doctor, bro. All right, early question. How can someone like OG Rick break the old stigma of the mob and boxing connections? And do you see he run a new barriers from old school promotion companies? I don't know.
Just go ahead. I interviewed him. Go to my article, man. Everything that he did, man, he taught himself. He learned how to read in prison. He went into prison with the first grade reading level, man. Taught himself how to read the same 3 books over 25 times, right? He read over 200 books in there, and he knows what he did. He knows he was a crack dealer, and he knows exactly what he did, and he wants to use his knowledge to help the kids in the streets, man. And yeah, I do think he'll break the stigmata because his thing is just to make sure that the fighters right now are taken care of, because he doesn't really feel that they're being taken care of the way they should be, and he's more looking out for the fighters, man. But yeah, I do think he'll break that stigmata.
There you go, man. And maybe we could get him in here, man. Maybe we could get
Rick Ross,
Rick here. Okay, so there you go, man. Let's do this.
I will say this: if he's into like protecting the fighters and making sure that the fighters are taken care of, he might actually want to jump into the MMA business because we see how they're getting paid. Compared to what boxers are getting paid. So
I did post about that, bro. All right, with that said, man, let me get big shout outs to Nico Ali Walsh. He gets another W, man. He keeps him, fixing his resume. You know what I'm saying? And he gets a TKO in the second. Just, if you guys want to talk a little bit about it, that's about it. That's all I do usually. Give him a shout out because right now his career just started.
He was with Sugar Hill. He switched trainers. He has a lot to learn. He didn't have an amateur career. And, boxing's a business. They're going to move him slow. Bob Arum, smart. They're going to use that Ali last name.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. I don't see anything special out of him. But you know what? The kid's, he's got heart. He's getting there. He's fighting. He's taking fights, and he's learning every day. So, I'm not going to sit here and hate on the kid. He's doing what he's doing, and he's using that last name to his benefit. And it is what it is.
There you go, guys. Fern, you want to drop a little dime on that or not?
No, actually, Stacks mentioned Arum, and I'll speak about him shortly. Don't worry about it.
No, there you go. All right, let's do this. Let's go to the main event, which all of us got wrong, guys. The rundown came out wrong on this one. Robson Cosencio versus Xavier Martinez Robson gets the unanimous decision, guys.
Congratulations to him. At the end of the day, we've seen more from Xavier Martinez than we really seen from the other dude. So that's kind of why we went there. But at the end of the day, loving it.
You know, he changed his fighting style, and it reminds me a lot of the Lara fighting style, the Guillermo Rigondeaux fighting style. He went back to that amateur style. He won the fight. This puts him in a position to fight the winner of Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. I just don't think he's at that top level yet.
All right. Many Eagles watching boxing. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them, brother. There's a lot of them. Nancy says, well, hi, Nancy. Nancy says something about, I found the Tums you gave me at the Chocolatito fight in my pocket. I guess that was producer Lanya.
Yeah.
Something about Tums. All right. With that, I'm gonna go to what's hot in boxing, unless you guys have something else to say about Concenciao and Xavier Martinez. No, nothing. All right. So here we go, man. Let's go. What's hot in boxing, guys? Man, you guys are gonna love this one. Man, because I don't know where we're going in this for May 5th, okay? But I'm going to throw it out there. Ilunga Makabu says he'll knock out Canelo after he won this weekend, his victory. He says he'll knock out Canelo. So I thought Canelo was not going to the cruiserweight. I thought Canelo was, he's got multiple offers on the table right now. Two from the zone. One is to fight Triple G or us or
it's a two-fight offer from the zone.
Which is Bivol, right?
Yeah, Bivol would be the first fight. Triple G, the third fight in the fall.
The second, right?
The third, it would be their third fight.
Oh, okay.
It would be the trilogy between Canelo and Triple G.
Oh, okay, yeah. Or if he was to go with PBC's offer, it will be Charlo. Correct? Yep. So he has those 3 fights right now, and I thought this fight was dead, but this fight just came back alive, dog. I mean, Ilunga Makabu says he'll knock him out. Thoughts?
It's you know what, man? I mean, I don't know if he's any harder of a puncher than Kovalov, at 75.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that the difference in ring generalship and all around boxing knowledge highly, highly favors Canelo. I mean, us as boxing insiders, I don't know. I don't think we're interested, but I think for the casual fans, oh my God, Canelo's moving up to cruiserweight. Oh my God, he's going to become world champion and 6 different
cruiserweight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So let's just go with out of the 2 offers plus this one, which one do you guys want to see, man? For May 5th. May 5th.
Charlo.
All right. Hey, guys, let me know which one you guys want to see, too. I'll read the one that you guys want to see. The one that gets the most. I'm not going to go through all of them, guys.
Charlo, definitely.
Yeah, if I see a pattern, then I'll announce the one that you guys like on the chat. Okay, guys? All right, let me go to the next one, man. Our good friend and past guest, David Benavidez, says he wants Plant after Lemieux if he doesn't get Canelo. So he wants to fight Caleb Plant after Lemieux if he doesn't get Canelo. Do you guys like that?
Yeah, of course I do. Like, who's not gonna like that? The whole Plant Benavidez beef is like 3-4 years old now. Mm-hmm. They've been circling around one another. They've been talking smack about one another online all the damn time. They both can't keep each other's names out of their mouths. It's Plant finally took an L. He finally got the big money fight that he wanted, and the next really big money fight he can get is Benavidez. So if he wants to make a comeback fight, do it like a couple of weeks after the Lemieux fight that Benavidez is having, and line yourself up to fight Benavidez. At the end of the day, you'll have 2 great years where you made 2 big money fights. You might go 1-1, you might go 0-2, but at the end of the day, you're risking to be great, like you said so many times. You got to take those risks, and Benavidez is a risk.
Stacks.
No, Benavidez, he needs to keep doing what's best for him. I mean, he can't keep chasing Canelo and hoping for a big fight. He's got to get out there and do what he's got to do to keep food in,
and his
overhead and food in his family's mouths, and he needs to keep himself relevant. And if that's calling out fighters and fighting Lemieux, becoming world champion at 168, and You know, he's got to do what he's got to do, man.
All right, man. Let's go with the third one that I have, and if you guys have one, then you have to let it out before, you know. Dylan White, bigger threat to Fury than Wilder, says Uncle Bob.
Bob's just trying to sell a fight. That's all he's really doing. Bob's a promoter, and he's just trying to sell a fight. But in our next segment, which we're going to talk about, Bob likes to put his foot in his mouth way too damn much. So I'll wait for the next segment.
Oh, okay. All right. Stats. Is Dylan White a bigger threat to Fury than Wilder?
Than Wilder? No. I don't believe so.
Ooh, guys, I told y'all this guy is punctual. I told him to come in 5 minutes earlier, and he came 5 minutes earlier, guys. We got Chuck Bosecker in the house. I don't know what he's doing, man. He's probably
like to the audio. We'll relax.
All right. So I mean, I don't see that either, bro. I don't see that. I'm with Fern. I think he's trying to sell a fight.
He's trying to sell the fight. It's gonna in America. It's gonna be pay-per-view, so it's gonna be ESPN plus pay-per-view. So he has to find a way to make the money and everything. At the end of the day, I don't know why he's doing it because he didn't win the bet anyways. So it's not like his money's being spent.
Oh, well, who's gonna hold that fight?
Frank Warren's promotion.
Ooh,
they won the bid. They won the bid. They won the bid with like
it's them and Top Rank together. They went in with a bid of 41 million and took the fight. So
all right. No, I agree. No. Tyson Fury is gonna be. I think he's gonna do damage, bro. Don't worry. All right. The Vargas brothers fight this weekend. Yes, they do, bro. Yeah. All right. While Charles is trying to connect, bro. Does anybody have anything else for what's hot in boxing?
Nope.
One thing that also, and I know that you're gonna hit on this, Fern. What grinds your gears is that they're projecting 500,000 sold sales for the pay-per-view between Dylan White and Fury. Do you guys think we get to 500,000 with those two fighting?
I think he gets half of that. I think he gets half of that, like maybe like 250, maybe 2, but that's about it.
Depends on what pay-per-views they're counting, U.S. numbers or, all around. I mean, if they're counting worldwide numbers, maybe 500,000, but not in the United States. Honestly, I see about 150, 200,000 here in the United States, if that.
Hey, I think Mike Styles is now in Texas because he said Horns Up. Horns Up means, isn't it from Texas?
Yeah.
Right?
Doesn't matter. From Texas, we don't care about them. Sorry, Nancy, but we just don't care about
them. No, that's Matt. That's Matt. Mike said that. Horns Up. All right, man. No, bro. Tony Sandoval. I know that Bam Rodriguez is stepping in for Cuadras. So I already know. We'll talk about it when we get to the predictions, bro. I'm gonna talk about that. Don't worry. All right. With that said, I don't know what's going on with Charles, man. We're gonna go into what grinds your gears this week. Who wants to go first, man?
Go. Start it off, Fern. Start it off.
What grinds my gears in boxing is something that I stated in the first time we did this. Boxing shoots itself in its own foot. And what I mean by this time, and I'll give you the perfect example, Bob Arum. Bob Arum has gone on and stated that no one really pays attention to women's boxing. No one really cares for women's boxing. It's like comparing Premier League to women's softball or women's football. At the end of the day, we've seen a resurgence and we've seen a good rise in women's boxing. The thing that really pisses me off about this is that he's saying that while he has an Olympian, Michaela Mayer, right there, his hottest woman prospect in his promotion, and he's talking like this. That is ridiculous. That is stupid. At the end of the day, it has no place in the game. Really, it doesn't, and I hate it because at the end of the day, what he's trying to do, he's trying to downplay the Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor fight. And I get it. You're at odds with Eddie Hearn and everything like that. I understand your beef, but don't at the same time that you're trying to downplay that, shoot yourself in the foot with your female superstar. It's stupid, it's ridiculous, and that grinds my gears. That boxing again shoots itself on the foot.
All right, that's a good. What grinds your gears in boxing? Sean Quinn says Don King still lurking grinds my gears. Oh, woo, got him. All right, Stacks, you have what grinds your gears in boxing this week?
This week, what grinds my gears in boxing. You know what, man? I think for me, what grinds my gears in boxing, what I've seen, I've only been in the business on about 8 years or so, right? But what grinds it the most, what I've seen a lot of is people, the snakes, man, the snakes in boxing. You have guys that have been with fighters when they were nothing, man, when they didn't have no food in their mouth, when they couldn't pay their rent, and you had managers that would step up for them and help them out and do things for these fighters. And two things happen. If the fighter becomes really good, a lot of times they get a lot of new friends. You got people giving t-shirts. You got people wanting to take their pictures. You got people trying to look out for their own best interest instead of the fighters. Fighters forget who are there. A lot of times there's fighters that will forget who was there for them from the beginning, man. I've seen some real good people in this game get burned, man.
Yep.
I've seen people like Albert Baker get burned. I've seen people like Kite Monroe get burned, man. I've seen it. I've heard stories, man. And I just think they don't value the people that were there, and they need to remember who was with them from the beginning and who got them to that spot before they move on, before they jump ship. And I'm not necessarily saying with the trainer, because boxers, they change trainers like they change their underwears, man. And that's one thing to change the trainer. But when you have somebody that's loyal to you, man, and you decide to jump ship once you got that money, I think that's what grinds my gears, man, because it's the people behind the scenes, the people like the man that we have on here today, Chuck, man, the people that nobody knows about, the people, we know him, of course.
Of course we do.
He's not on ESPN. He's not here. He's not in the limelight. He stays low key. He puts together great shows. He matchmakes. He does a hell of a job matchmaking. Manages fighters, so like it's those the people like Chuck that we have on today, man. These are the people that need to be shown love. Not the top promoters, man, not the Arams, not the Hearns, not these people that just want to move in. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it. Chuck, I'm gonna give you a shot if you have something that grinds your gears in boxing. It's not a debate, bro. We're not gonna debate you on it. You just shoot it out. Let the fans know something that grinds your gears in boxing. And then that's it, man. We hear you out on this one.
It's crazy that Stacks just went off on that tangent, which is the truth, and it's not even a tangent. It's the honest truth in boxing, and that definitely grinds my gears to the core. That's a lot of the times, I see these managers and trainers or what have you that start these fighters off, and they become something, and they quickly forget who started them, and where the whole journey began, and they quickly forget about those types of things and move past them. And I think it's really unfortunate and unfair. How they say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I'm not gonna exactly say it's that way, but it seems as if you have a lot of the elite managers, right, that they wait for a certain level for these fighters to get, and then they swoop in and take them, and those lower level managers can never get to the top because they that's how it seems. I'm not saying every scenario or situation is like that, but I do see that time and time again, and I think it's unfortunate, and I think it's I don't think that's fair, and that definitely grinds my gears.
I support Chuck, and I support Stacks on that, and I even support what Fern said. So here goes ours, man. And this one's a combination between Xavier and I. We were talking, and I call it the Xavier special, but I could agree to what he's talking about. So what grinds my gears in boxing this week is nothing to do with the promoters, nothing to do with managers, nothing to do with the boxers. It has to do with you boxing fans. Okay. This one is for you boxing fans. All right. So you guys hold all of us to a different standard. All right. So when we make a prediction, let's say we have a Terence Crawford versus a Virgil Ortiz. And here at the rundown, we say, you know what? We have Crawford. A lot of us, and I mean, myself and Xavier get DMs saying we don't support our people. We don't support La Raza. You know what I mean? Guys, I'm going to be honest, and Xavier's being honest. We're sharing this comment for all of you guys. We are here to be non-biased. You know what I'm saying? We're making a prediction. We're giving you guys knowledge. We're telling you guys something that we are feeling. There's a lot of people that won't give you a prediction. You know what I mean? because of this. They don't want to, all seem like they're, being biased or whatever. You know what I mean? Us, if I pick a fighter that is not a Latino, it doesn't mean that I'm not supporting my people. It just means that I'm giving you the best advice I could give you guys. So make sure sometimes you guys don't judge us on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to get DMs. Xavier doesn't need to get DMs. I'm pretty sure this guy don't need to get DMs. Even Chuck, like let's say Chuck says, I'm not going for Caleb Plant. I'm going for Canelo. He's going to get DM saying, bro, you're not supporting the white man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. You got to support the white man. Come on, guys. Don't hold us to a different standard. You know what I'm saying? We just want to make sure that we give you guys the best advice we could give you guys. You guys do whatever you guys want with the advice. You guys have your personal choices, but we try to help you guys out, all right? So that's what's grind my gears this time. It was for the boxing fans. All right, what's going on?
To piggyback on that, man, I think one thing that we do in here, right? There's a big difference, and Sean Fitzgerald has said this plenty of times. There's a big difference in who we want to win and who we think is going to win. You know what I mean? And that's the thing about us, man. We may want somebody to win, but we may not see it happening. Right. And we're going to give you what we think, and we're in the boxing game. We see these boxers, we know the insides, we know a lot of stuff that the casuals don't know about stuff. But sometimes, we put it out there, sometimes we don't, depending on what it is. And we're going, it's a prediction. That's all. That doesn't mean we're rooting for anybody or we're not rooting for anybody. It's a damn prediction.
Damn, bro. All right. So Jaime Cosich already hit me. He says, oh, please. Ruckus always picks Tom Loeffler fighters. There you go, bro. Thank you. Welcome, Jaime Costecho, our number one troll, bro. Yes, I always pick Tom Loeffler's fighters. All right, man. With that, yeah, we love him. We love him. All right. All right. You guys ready? Anything else? Chuck's here.
Chuck's more Mexican than many hundred.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know. I saw it. Hey, big shout outs to Jesse Gonzalez. His son is Lobito Gonzalez, guys. Big shout out to them. So, Team Lobito, okay? All right, man. You ready? Y'all ready?
Yes. What up, Chuck?
What up, Chuck? Here we go, man.
What up, Chuck?
What's up?
All right. With that said, man, welcome to the Boxing Rundown. And it's not a welcome, you know what I mean? This guy is a regular on the rundown. But we have the one and only, the matchmaker of Southern California, Mr. Charles Bosecker.
Thank you. Glad to be back with you knuckleheads.
Man, why we gotta be knuckleheads though?
Why we gotta be knuckleheads, bro?
Don't get sensitive on me. Don't get sensitive now. Come on.
He ain't lying now. He ain't.
Hey, Charles, the first question, bro. The last time you came here, I brought you here last year when the pandemic was really heavy. We were having a lot of fights in the bubbles, you know what I'm saying? But you were very optimistic. You said, we're gonna come out of this, it's gonna be really good. You were very optimistic. So it's been almost a year since we had you. All right.
A little less.
Long?
A little less.
7-8 months from what I recall.
Yeah. What have you personally gone through? Because I know you've been doing a lot of shows, bro. Myself, we all know that you've been doing shows. So from the last show to now, what has changed in the pandemic game and the boxing game for you? Because you've done shows.
It's gotten a lot. Well, yeah, so we were really busy. So for example, Roy with Fight Club OC, he had a lot of making up to do with his season ticket holders, from the lack of shows, right, from the pandemic. So when he had the first show, what was it, back in, I think it was July of last year, August, something like that. Anyways, we were having shows like every single month, it seemed like. Every couple of weeks there was a show, or a few weeks. So we were definitely up and running, at full speed, which was nice. It was a nice change to get back into the swing of things. But, being back with COVID, it poses a lot of other issues and problems too. It's not, the shows aren't just seamless like they used to be as far as weigh-ins and then fight night. I mean, now you gotta, mix in, we gotta get vaccination cards, the vaccine, yeah, exactly. So, and then, the COVID testing at the weigh-ins. And so there's been a lot of challenges there, along with fighters getting sick, right? And pulling out of fights. So
right.
I had to deal a lot with that. which is unfortunate. But yeah, man, it's definitely awesome to be back. We're just knocking it out of the park,
Anybody has questions?
Those shows, man, every show since they've been back has been sold out. It's standing room only. They've had a few shows outside, and the outside shows are just as good as the ones that are inside of the hangar. On a nice summer evening, man, there's nothing more exciting than to go out there and just, that whole parking lot was damn near, that whole area, right in front of the hangar was just full, man, all the way to the parking lot, a whole concrete area. If you've ever been out there, they kind of have like a big concrete area that's hundreds of yards long before you hit the parking lot. So they had the gate at the parking lot, and that whole concrete area was just full. I mean, all the seats were sold out. There was standing room only. So when they did have the fights out there, man, it was real good, man. And there's always good fights. The competition is good, so he matchmakes great. And a lot of times those fights are more entertaining, man, because you get these young guys that want to go out there and they want to prove themselves. They want to prove, who they are and that they're going to be something special, man. So they go out there and they give it their all, so they're good times.
Okay. Now you hit a little bit on that, on the whole parking lot, and then we're having the parking lot shows, but how many shows? Because I've seen shows at the OC hangar that they already have people in the.
They have had them inside of the hangar as well.
Okay, inside the hangar. Okay. So I was like,
they've had them inside and outside. So I think what happened, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Chuck. What happened was they had it inside. They had a couple of fights that were inside, and then California changed the rules about being inside, and everybody needed to be vaccinated, right, or have a test. And I don't think they were able to get the test set up right away. And a lot of, it's Orange County, and a lot of people disagree with the vaccine, and guess that's their right to. And I think it was just going to be too much trouble at that short notice to try to get everybody with their vaccine cards or get everybody tested to get them inside of the hangar. So they put it outside and made it an outside event. That way everybody could show up. And then after that, they did go back in, and they did have, I know Roy did have testing available for people that didn't want to get the vaccine. So they could get a rapid test right then and there, and then go into the fights the next time.
Okay, so how many fights, Chuck? How many fights did you guys do, like drive-in, and how many fights have you guys done with people in the, I guess, the hangar? Because the fights that we saw Chuck at, and all three of us saw him out here at the Montebello
shop.
Yeah. We had
on show 360.
We were there. We were all like, Chuck was hugging me and everything. I was like, "Come on, bro!"
A little too close, right? Yeah.
Not too close. Not too close for my comfort. You know what I'm saying? But no. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't go to any of the drive-in shows, but I know I saw the hangar had people, and then I know I saw Chuck at Tom Loeffler's 360. So how many shows did you go do, like, through the drive-through, Chuck?
It wasn't a drive-through.
Yeah. A drive-in.
The outside.
It was a parking lot. It was a parking lot.
Yeah, the parking lot.
The parking lot show, bro.
I think it was only 2. I want to say 2. Let me see. I'll double check right now. I think it was only 2 though.
Yeah.
I believe it was only 2. Because here's the thing, especially in the winter time right now, and as it gets, as it's gotten colder, we don't know if there's going to be rain, and you don't want to chance that, on that show. Plus, we can be back indoors now, and the California Athletic State Commission and the guidelines is, anything above 500 people indoors right now is considered a mega event. It used to be 5 to 10,000 was a mega event, but right now it's 500. So what that means is, everybody's got to be vaccinated and or get tested at the doors. So both shows, 360 Promotions and Fight Club OC, are offering right outside what Stax was saying is a rapid test, and it's free, and you literally just wait 10 minutes, take a quick test, and the fans will go in if they don't have a vaccination card. So it's really easy. But yeah, it takes a little bit more time with certain people. As far as the guideline goes, but man, it wasn't, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, right? I mean, the show must go on, you know what I mean? So
and that's what I'm saying. I love because you called it yourself when you had you the last time on the show. You said things will get better. We'll have shows. You were so optimistic, man, and you were so on point on this one. Hitting on what Jaime Cosecho said, I have more rings than Walter Mercado. Bro, I don't know what you're calling me. He's the one that predicted that we were going to be at a better situation You know what I mean? So there you go. Whatever.
Everyone has to. Wow.
What happened? I can't see the comments. What's going on?
He said everyone has to wear a mask inside unless you're Magic Johnson.
Wow, I don't know, dude. I don't know what
Or Gavin Newsom, right?
Yeah,
or Garcia.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, bro. Okay.
They're exempt.
Yeah, they're exempt, dude. Come on, man. Cut it out, player. All right, dude. I didn't know he was a major Rams fan over here. Jaime Costecho. All right.
Well, he's built like one.
He is built like one. All right. Fern, do you have a question? No? Okay. All right. Since you've been so on it, Chuck, all right, here we go, man. Do you think, in your expert opinion, that we'll go back to bubbles, or we're just here to stay? Like you said, 500 and above is called a mega event. We just have to have rapid testing and we're in. Or if you have your vaccine card, you're in. Do you think we'll do that, or we'll go back to bubbles if the pandemic is?
I don't think there's a chance we go back to bubbles unless the bubonic plague plagues the country, because I think it's, everybody, with all due respect, as the variants have been going down the line here, it seems as if they are becoming less, the strength of it is, diminishing. And my cousin, he's he works in a lab, and he's got 1 million degrees, and I kind of sat down and talked to him about it at Christmas, and he just basically said, he's not a COVID expert. He works in the cancer part of the disease, but he said just commonly when it comes down to these types of diseases and things of that nature, as the variants start changing, the strength of it diminishes. However,
the contagious.
How contagious it gets a lot more contagious, and the mutations, it mutates, and that's why it can get around the vaccines and things like that. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be more deadlier as the variants continue. So, my cousin basically said, hopefully that this thing drains itself out. But in other words, there won't be another, we're not going to go backwards with this unless a whole different disease comes
Something
out.
that we're gonna have to learn to live with, and I think it's gonna end up like the flu, like Chuck said. By the time it mutates, everything now is just it's dropping in power. Yes, the vaccine, does help to a certain extent, but people are still getting it. It's called breakthrough, where you get breakthrough COVID, where you've had it in the past, you've been vaccinated, then you get it for a second or a third time. This variant, this Omicron variant, isn't as strong. It's not killing as many. It's more like a flu. Before, people were losing their taste, their smell. It was getting into their lungs. Is it still affecting people that are obese, that are diabetic, that have underlying health issues, that are old? Yes, it still is, but it's not as strong as some of the earlier variants. And I think our body's just going to end up having to develop. It's going to be something like the flu, where we choose to get a flu shot or we don't get a flu shot, and we get sick or we don't get sick. And it's just something that we're going to have to learn to deal with, because honestly, I don't see it going away, but I don't see it getting any worse.
Well, so they did drop down like some of the restraints that they had. They had us for 10 days originally. It was just like about a month ago where they lowered it. Instead of 10-day quarantine, now it's only 5-day quarantine.
5 days now, right?
So, it's only 5 days now. So the CDC lowered it as well. So it's right. Like, again, you knew me. I got COVID at the end of the year, at the beginning of this year. And I literally felt it for 1 day. And then the next day I was actually perfect again. I felt great. I felt it bad on a Monday. On a Tuesday, I was back to normal. I was locked up for 5 days. Went back to work. Everything's been good since,
I had COVID back in June of last year, and I had it pretty good. I had a fever for 8 days, and it was pretty bad. But then I got vaccinated, unfortunately, and then I just got it again. So
unfortunately,
but the second time getting it, it was very mild. It was like I had a fever for a day, a cough for like a day and a half. It was really weird. It was just the gap, and I didn't have the body aches or chills or anything. It was very weird deal there. So
it just felt like a mild flu, huh?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, get back to
everybody's different.
We are talking boxing, bro. My question was, if we're going back to the bubble, That question took us to
remember,
this, dude.
COVID. And if you don't think COVID does not affect boxing, look at how many times the main event for this Saturday's the zone card went. It was originally supposed to be Smith versus Vargas. That didn't happen.
Right.
Then it was Rumba versus Cuadras. Rumba now out, and now we have Cuadras versus Rodriguez, right? Or Ramirez
against Bam.
Yeah. It's against Bam. So it's like COVID does affect the boxing ring. COVID does affect this entire situation. Fights get postponed. Fights get canceled because of this situation.
You had three cards in the United States alone next Saturday. You had the card in Fresno, right, with Ramirez against Pedraza. Pedraza got
pushed back for a month.
Yeah, Vargas got COVID. That got all switched around, like you said. Then Thurman got bumped out, so it does affect.
Well, no, and then we also have. Don't forget, we have Gallo Estrada versus Chocolatito. Yeah, COVID related, guys. Come on,
COVID related.
So if you guys think that this whole thing, me bringing up the whole pandemic and bringing up the bubble, doesn't have to do anything with boxing, it does, man. It does. So let's just chill it with that.
Well, hold on. With that said, Chuck, and all of these things going on and everything like that, with you making a card, do you have backups or substitutes just in case something like this happens? That way the fight doesn't fall through and the fighter that trained for that show still has an opponent, or is it just
fights I do? Some of the fights I do. And a lot of the times too, I'm able to scramble and just make a match most of the time, but there are times when I can't, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, these elements and things that can happen are out of my hands, and I mean, literally every show I've had, there is at least one COVID, something at least once in every show. It seems like, a COVID situation comes up.
How many shows did you have? Just tell them.
Last year
till now, I think it's like 10 or something like that, or 12, 13.
So let's just say, okay, let's just go to 10. Let's just go to 10. Let's just make it a 10 round. He just told you guys he had 10 shows, and then from all 10 shows, at least one COVID. There you go, guys. Yeah. I mean, if you guys think that we're just like trying to just do the COVID conversation for no reason, no, bro, it's just something that we got to deal with. I'm talking to the man that predicted that we were going to have more shows and we were going to get back to a regular situation. So I hit him with that question, man, because he predicted that we would be better last year. So I want to get his prediction for this year, bro. What do you predict for this year, Chuck, now that I brought it up?
Great fights.
Great fights.
That's what I predict. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Is boxing business still going to be
in the crowd or in the ring?
Hey, you know what?
Show is probably going to be in the crowd.
I haven't seen any fights in the crowd actually lately. I mean, I've seen little scuffles here and there, but as far as no punches thrown or anything, a little bit of pushing, but I've only seen that a couple times since we've been back with COVID. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's not a Rams game. It's not a Dodgers game. So
he hit stop Mike Styles and he hit you, Fern, right there. There you go.
I got to kick Mike in the what.
Oh no, yeah. Todos van a dar por COVID. Yes, we know that. Yes. Yeah. Okay. All right, 3. Are you still no, this is my third question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Are you still matchmaking for multiple promoters or you're just one matchmaker for one person?
Oh, just for 360 Promotions and Fight Club OC.
Okay.
I've been asked several times to venture off and to do other shows, but I've decided not to. It's just not worth it. And Tom Loeffler is a really good guy in 360 Promotions and Fight Club OC. I've been there for a very long time, and good people. And it's just I don't want to overstretch my limits. So I'm comfortable and working with just those guys. I mean, it keeps me busy enough.
They're asking Fight Club in Fight Club OC. Where is that at? Let them know, Chuck.
Costa Mesa, California.
Costa Mesa, California. If you guys haven't been to a Fight Club in the OC, man, you guys gotta go, bro. It's a nice venue. It's open, right? It's still open?
Yeah, they have the cigar lounge.
The cigar lounge. I love to go there because I smoke cigars, guys. So I like it. American company.
It's an American company, and it is located inside of the Orange County Fairgrounds, man. It's easy access. The freeway access is right there, so the freeway is a block away. It's easy to get off to. The parking's easy, you know. So if you are not from the United States and you come into Los Angeles or to Orange County, it's located inside of the Orange County Fairgrounds, man. So
I'm actually gonna have to venture to an OC.
Yeah, I was gonna say, out of all of us, the only one that hasn't gone is you.
I know. Well, it's
you guys never been to one, bro.
It's the OC, bro.
Couple weeks away.
I'm gonna be there. Are you gonna be there?
When is it?
February 17th. You should go.
February 17th? Man, that's my birthday present, I guess then.
Ooh,
that's your birthday?
That's your birthday?
The 18th actually is my birthday. February 18th. Okay. So that's my birthday present to myself then.
Dude. Oh, dude.
What happened?
Hey, the guy with Concentrate hit Chuck, dude. Here we go, Chuck.
What did he say?
Our troll, he said, "Oh, another Tom Loeffler fanboy. No wonder he keeps getting invited on here." Hey, bro. Come on now.
Tom Loeffler fanboy, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Does this guy ever go to a fight, or I mean, is this guy just?
Oh yeah, he goes, bro.
Oh yeah, he goes. Don't worry, you won't miss him. Like
you know who he is,
bro. You know who he is.
You know who he is.
You know who he is too, Chuck. All right.
Nice looking grimace.
Oh damn. You're all over him today. Stacks, don't let him get to you.
I saw looking grimace. That's fucked up, yo. Dang.
You guys are horrible, bro. All right, before I get into the other question, Chuck, talk to us about the show on the 17th, man. What do we got going?
And so it's going to be 5 boxing and 2 MMA. It's a hybrid show for those of you who are not familiar with the Fight Club. Shows I only match the boxing. There's a MMA matchmaker, Mel, that matches the MMA. But yeah, no, I mean, we got a really stacked card actually here in a couple weeks. I don't really get that excited about, every single show, right? Because, we have a lot, and some of the times, just some fights I could do without, but literally for the next couple months, the fights that I have been able to match up are just going to be phenomenal fights. For example, we got 2 undefeated kids, local kids, a 4-0 versus a 3-0. We've got an up and coming prospect, Kane Sandoval, who's got a very tough fight. I don't know if you guys watched Matt Gaver fight Michael Myers at the outside at the hangar, but that was a hell of a fight.
Oh, yeah.
So Kane hasn't been tested yet, never been past the first round. We're going to have a really hungry, tough guy that is going to, want to change that. And then we have MMA guys that are fighting boxing. Curtis Melender versus John Mercurio. They fought in MMA, and now they want to fight in boxing. And that should definitely be a good fight. Sometimes, again, now it's all about styles, right? Styles make fights, as they say, right? So I wouldn't want to have a really experienced pro boxer fighting an inexperienced MMA guy, because guess what? That's going to be not the best matchup or a good fight.
No,
right?
it's not.
When you have an evenly matched kind of boxing match, it makes it for a fun fight. And then, yeah.
No, go. I'll hit you with the questions.
Oh yeah, and then Sergio Gonzalez is another undefeated kid that's going to be on the card. He's fighting a guy that has never been knocked down or knocked out from Vegas. With about 20 pro fights of experience, so that's going to be a good fight. Anytime that you get these type of veteran opponents that haven't been dropped or stopped or very limited in being stopped or dropped, and they fought all undefeated guys in tough fights, man, you can always count on those guys coming, and bringing it. The durable guys, I love them. We got good fights here in the next couple weeks.
I know at the last Montebello show, you had a really good women's bout. Is there a woman bout in this OC fight?
Yep. There is no women fighting at the OC card on February 17th, though.
No?
But we might have a female fight on the Tom Loeffler 360 promotions on March 17th.
Yes.
So
And for sure, Fern's going to that for sure. Because
no. I saw that last women's fight was freaking amazing. They went balls to the wall in that.
I tried to make that rematch, by the way, for March 17th. It didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
No, it didn't work out.
I think they both went down once in the first round, if I recall correctly. Like, it was just ridiculous. They went at it.
That was an unbelievable fight. Every fan was on their feet too, and just the crowd was going nuts. And the best part about fights like that is when you get double ticket side in fights, right? In other words, A side, B side are both selling tickets, and they both sell a lot of tickets, and they're both very confident. You know, when you get those types of matchups, you can expect fireworks, and the fans' engagement is huge. You know, I've had pro debuts that have the fans in the event center all on their feet, and I've had guys that have 20-0, an undefeated guy on that same kind of a show, and there's crickets. You know, nobody really cares or knows about them. You know what I mean? So it's all about that fan engagement at that local club show level. You know.
Yeah.
All right. The last card at OC did have a female fight. There was an undefeated fighter from NorCal. What was her name? She's
Raquel Miller.
Raquel Miller. Thank you, Raquel.
She's
Miller.
training in San Diego.
She's out training in San Diego now. But yeah, Raquel Miller was on the last card out there at the OC too. So yeah.
Big shout out to Raquel Miller. Yeah, no, very nice, very nice. She's a good boxer. All right. You gave me two questions, bro. Okay, one is this. You're one matchmaker that will match up this young undefeated fighters, the 4-0s, the 3-0s. You'll match them, bro. Where other promoters will probably talk to their matchmakers like, no, this guy's we're working with, don't match him till later on. You know what I mean? Why is it that you're able to match them up, Chuck? What do you do? How do you talk to those guys that want to kind of protect their record with such an little amount of wins so far?
You want to hear the easy way of putting it and saying it?
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
Is that if you're not willing to fight, guys, then I won't put you on.
Oh shit! Okay, explain to us that philosophy.
I actually have explained this time and time again lately to newer individuals in boxing that are trying to get their fighters fights, and they're wanting 3 to 5 opponents and this and that, and it's got to be 6 feet tall, then it's got to be they've got to be at this weight, they've got to have a 6-pack that. And it's like, what? Hold on, what are we doing here? You can go to Mexico and play those types of games. You know what I mean? You could go do that over there, but that's not how we do things here. And and it's an injustice to the fans. That's not fair to the fans. Now, I'm not saying to overmatch your fighter, but I'm saying, if you're an unsigned fighter and you're trying to prove yourself and you're at the club show level, you got to fight. Who wants to go to a club show fight when you can guarantee that this guy is going to knock this guy out in round 1 or 2, or you know what I mean? That's not fun. What kind of excitement is that? Don't you want to see a good fight? I mean, we all do, so I let people know up front, that's why there are certain people that, I choose not to put on, because they're not willing to do what I want. And it's not just me, it's what the promoters want too, right? The promoters want good fights, because at the end of the day, the fans aren't dumb. They know when they're seeing a good fight and they know when they're seeing a bad fight, and I'm not saying I can knock it out of the park every time, but my goal is to always consistently have good fights. That's the goal, and if people want to, knock on me for that, then, that's on them, but I have a job to do, and that's that.
No, I like what you do, Chuck. I like what you do. For the people that there's a number of fighters that want to know, like if they have a contact place for you. You know what I mean? Do you have a contact info or a contact page where fighters could contact you in case they want to get fights or be opponents or whatever they got to do?
They can email me. My email is right there on my box rec. On box rec, just phone number and everything.
Yeah, just go to box rec, guys, and look up Charles Bosecker. You'll get his email. You'll get his number.
cbboxing82@gmail.com.
Well, I do. What do I do? What I look? I look sad. I don't look sad at all, bro. Come on, cut it out.
I said you look happy that the rest of us look sad.
Oh, okay.
Like as a collective,
why you guys
look sad?
Yeah, why you guys look sad?
You're happy.
I'm always happy. I'm always happy.
I'm happy.
All right. All right. So, Chuck, with the same answer that you gave us earlier, you kind of put something in my mind. You're saying a lot of MMA fighters want to go into boxing. Do you credit this to Mr. Paul? What's his name?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. Mr. Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Because of them fighting MMA fighters, do you think that this MMA fighters now wanted to go into boxing because of those guys, or what do you credit? Like you said, now you have MMA fighters going into boxing.
I mean, we've always kind of had, a little bit of that crossover, a little bit, but it seems like more recently they're more that are wanting to venture into trying boxing right now. Am I going to credit that to Jake Paul? Not necessarily, but two, it could have something to do with it. But I also know there's another fight organization that literally specifically has an MMA guy fight a boxer, right? And so I know that that's been on TV. I'm not a fan of it personally, but I mean, all I'm saying is people are watching these types of things, right? So you never know. I'm not opposed to those guys coming over to boxing, because I'll tell you what, some of those MMA guys are really tough. They bring that toughness, they bring this awkwardness. It may not be the prettiest style, but sometimes it's a fun style for, like I said, styles make fights, for the right fight. So I'm not opposed to matching those guys up sometimes, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say what that's attributed to.
I'll ask the question, Richard, but I think he just answered it right now, but I'll ask it. All right. Richard Bautista is asking, how does Charles feel about the Paul brothers and their fights?
How do I feel about the fights? I mean, here, at the end of the day, those guys are fighters. They are fighting. They are getting in the ring, but, they know what they're doing on the business side, too. It's like, perfect example, Tyrone Woodley is retired. He's not fighting, or wasn't for a couple of years. He's 40 years old. He fought at welterweight, I believe, and now he's fighting at 195 against a big boy. So what I'm saying is that they know, or he knows, that he has a slew of advantages to take that guy on, but he's a name, an ex-champion. It's a smart business move.
Exactly.
But
crossover entertainment, there's a certain crowd for that. It's not necessarily always a boxing crowd. It's not necessarily
not a boxing crowd,
but it's an entertainment. It's more of a YouTube style crowd. It's a new wave crowd. They're into it, and you know what? They sell tickets, they sell pay-per-views, and I think what the Paul brothers did is expose Dana White, which a lot of people have known about, even as far as him not letting people hang the banners over the fences anymore and having to wear Reebok suits, because that's who, actually, marketing for the UFC. And I think a lot of the money that they've made and a lot of the numbers are starting to come to light now, and some of these UFC fighters and MMA fighters, but more UFC that have that name, want to venture over to boxing because the money's there. They know that they can get paid if they mention somebody's name like Fury, if they, even the Paul brothers, look at, like he said, Woodley got into the ring and he probably made more money in those two fights than he did in his whole career with the UFC.
For sure. And he was the champ.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I was going to say, because they're heavyweight champion right now, right?
Yeah, Francis,
right?
Yeah, Francis. Yeah, Francis Ngannou.
He got $1.8 million for the last fight. That's why he's talking about going into boxing, probably because he wants to get what is and Chuck might know better. Let's talk about a name. Let's say name guy. You know what I mean? Name heavyweight. What is the minimum pay for him, man? A minimum, heavyweight.
Are we talking about heavyweight boxer? Or are we talking about
heavyweight boxer? Heavyweight boxer. How much would a name brand heavyweight boxer get in boxing? You know what I'm saying? What is a paycheck for them?
We're talking about a name elite boxer, heavyweight boxer that's fighting for a title. Is that what you're talking about?
No, not for a title. Not for a title. Let's just say King Kong Ortiz. How much does he get for a fight?
I don't know exactly what he's being paid, but I would have to imagine it's probably around what the UFC champ just received, if not a little bit more.
I think about 1.52 million a fight for King Kong.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
He's known, right? He's a known guy, and he's got a name for himself, and yeah.
Okay. What it is too is when you hear people like Eddie Hearn talk about a super fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury in Dubai for $300 million, that turns some heads.
Right.
Especially if you're an athlete in a different, in a different type of, profession there, you're an MMA fighter and you start hearing $300 million. I mean, shit, $10 million to them would be $10 million to any of us. I mean, would be a lot of money, but when you start seeing those astronomical numbers and coming out of boxing and what some of these champions are making, look at what Caleb Plant, he cleared 10 million against Canelo. That's before marketing, that's before advertising, before his sponsors, before anything, so
but it boils down to the fight too, though, right? I mean, it's not not everybody's going to be making that. It's just, it depends. There's a lot of variables behind it, a lot of variables. So you can't put an exact.
You can't hate. You can't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't hate.
I know somebody that fought for a world title in Madison Square Garden and only made $25,000 for the fight. So
believe it. Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of people say that the UFC doesn't pay these guys a lot, but not all the boxers get that big top money, man. So that's what we got to make sure that, like we're saying,
especially at the lower level too, the lower to mid-range level, they're a lot alike, right? I mean, as far as, because I've seen some of these purses with the MMA guys too, there's not much of a difference on the low to mid-range. Now, what you're talking about is the elite top level range. That's where, the big money is, divided, or not divided properly, right? It's lost somewhere to someone's hands.
Somebody like Francis, like their heavyweight champion, they have a gripe because they can use their big name and the fans that follow them in the UFC and make somebody like a Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz, a Khabib, or their heavyweight champion go in and cross over into a boxing match, say Nick Diaz versus Jake Paul, or something, and those are the names that anybody that's watched UFC know who Nate and Nick Diaz are. They know who Khabib is. They know who Conor McGregor is. That's how all that money was made when him and Floyd got together. It's the name. Like he says, there's more to it than just being an MMA fighter coming to boxing and expecting to make that the money. The entertainment value and the names have to be there.
Yeah. Sean Quinn says average is like $15,000 to $4,000 a fight. Yes, bro, we agree with that. That's what we're trying to say. That when it comes down to like the lower level to like mid-level fighters, don't make that big money, man. So I just don't want to make it seem like we're bashing on the UFC or we're bashing on MMA because they don't pay their guys. Because at the end of the day, yes, the elite make a lot of money in boxing, but not everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Question from you guys to Chuck. Okay. Chuck, for the average fan and for, let's just say for myself, you know what I mean? That I do a lot of matchmaking. Can you tell us what matchmaking entails and how it's changed with the pandemic? You kind of gave us a little bit about it, but like Fern said, now you have to have backup fights for fights that you already have matched up. So can you tell us about what is a matchmaker and what does it entail, and also what has changed?
The biggest change is just the just the testing and things of that nature, right? And the fact that people are getting sick, which can be quite effective, quite cumbersome when it comes down to a big fight on a show, right? If it's like the headliner or what have you, co-main event, then, a lot of the times I like to have a backup. But when it comes down to overall matchmaking, man, there's so much to it. I mean, it's not just saying you and you get in the ring and this is it. There's a lot to it. I gotta appease the promoter. I gotta appease managers. Different trainers sometimes. Even the fighters get involved.
Commission,
moms and dads. Then I have to make sure it gets approved with the commission. Got to make sure that the financials are there. Got to make sure the weight's correct. There's a lot of variables and a lot that goes into matching a fight. It's not just as easy as some people think. If anybody could be a matchmaker, then that's everybody would be, right? but that's not the case. There's a lot of pressure involved too. I mean, at the end of the day, if a fight doesn't happen, who does that fall on? Me. You know, if a fighter comes in overweight, who does that fall on? Me. Whether or not, you know, it's my fault, because it's not, but who do people look at, right? You know, and so there's a lot of pressure involved in, there's a lot of variables that are out of my control that I can't control, but, again, falls on my shoulders. So, being a boxing matchmaker can be very stressful. There's a lot to it. But at the end of the day, it has its moments, right, when the fights actually take place in the ring. And you worked your butt off to make that fight happen, right? And you made that fight happen. You negotiated that fight, and, now it's taking place in front of you, So, it's rewarding in that sense. And it's also rewarding to see great fighters make it too, and just know that, certain fighters started with you, and, now they've, made it into bigger, better places, so it's good.
Questions from you guys?
Yeah, with that said, what fighter are you most proud of actually matchmaking?
Well, there's a few, but Ryan Garcia is one of them. I know there's a lot of controversy around him, but you can't knock the kid. I mean, yeah, he's not active right now, but look at what he's accomplished,
right?
With social media and just, the things that he has accomplished in boxing. That's pretty awesome, and I'm the one that got him his first fight here, so it's pretty cool to just see his journey, whether, I know people hate on him and stuff, but it's cool to see the journey, right? Because I saw him when he only had a couple thousand followers, right, on social media and stuff. So it's cool to see that.
Okay, so one question we have from a fan, and we all know who he is. It's Lobito's dad, Jesse. He's asking, how do lower level fighters make better money, or how do they get themselves to a higher level? What would you say? And then I'll piggyback on your answer, Chuck.
So again, there's a lot of variables in boxing, in and out of the ring, right? So, if a fighter wants to make more money, he's going to have to fight for it, right? But at the same time, you're also going to see some fighters that come out of the gate making good money or better money than you, or so you think. And a lot of the times that can be true. And that has to do with their amateur pedigree, right? Their experience, where they've been. Who they have signed with as a promoter, right? So there's a lot of variables involved there. But if you are unsigned promoted fighter, you didn't have many amateur fights, you're fighting at the local club show level, you're going to start at, ground zero, so to speak, and the way to work yourself up is to just fight, and you're going to get to a point in your career where you're going to have to take a tough fight, meaning maybe another undefeated kid, or a promoted fighter, and get that upset, or get recognized and known. I mean, I've seen plenty of other fighters that lost and made it to a certain level and lost, but bounced back. Look at your Danny, right? With
Danny Roman.
Yeah, Danny Roman with Thompson. I mean, he's like a perfect example of that. That guy has, that's unbelievable, what he's accomplished. And people could have said that he was done and his career was over when, in the beginning, right? He was 5-3 or something like that, or 6. So you look at that on paper, even me as a matchmaker, I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know where this person's going to go. I wouldn't even have thought that they would become a world champion if I looked at that today, in all true honesty. So it's pretty remarkable, but to your question, yeah, you got to fight tough fights when the time comes and prove yourself. Not everybody is spoon-fed the right fights.
Exactly, and it's a combination of things, like Chuck was saying, inside and outside of the ring. If you're confident that your fighter is going to be able to make it to that next level, and he's just not getting that money, he's just not getting the opportunity, he doesn't have the magnifying glass on him like some of these other fighters, they don't know who he is. Sometimes it takes money to make money. And sometimes you have to put forth that extra to get your son or daughter out there and get the right PR team behind them, get the right marketing behind them, get somebody that's going to be making different types of sponsorship decks for them. It takes money to build these things. It takes a professional to put these things together, to get them out there, to get the right team behind you. If you have the right team behind you, if you get your name out there, your name starts getting out there, then you start putting asses in seats. You start selling tickets. People start knowing who you are. The more tickets you sell, the more money you make, and so forth and so on. And that's where it needs to start at. It needs to start with ensuring that you have that right team around you from the beginning, getting you the right fights, because if you do get to that level on social media, if you do get to that level of popularity, you're going to have a target on your back, because there's going to be a lot of jealous fighters are saying, why the hell is Supreme doing this for them? Or why is he doing this? Or why are they doing that? They don't understand that that's paid for. A lot of fighters just think that, oh, we favor fighters, or we put fighters on our website because we want to, or because no, it's all about marketing. It's all about promoting, and it's a business. Boxing is a business.
Yes, it is.
You get your name out there, you get known, you better be ready to put your money where your mouth is, because you're gonna have a target on you, and people are gonna want to be coming after you to well, I took him down. He had 1 million followers and he wasn't crap in the ring. So I mean, it's kind of twofold. Yes, you want to get your fighter there to that certain level, but once you get to that 14-0, 15-0, and the commission starts seeing it, and matchmakers start seeing it, you better have the goods.
Only run and hide for so long, right?
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question from Ralphie. Ralphie says, do you think this year we're gonna see all kinds of fights, and are the fans gonna get the fights we want to see?
If you're coming to my shows, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know about some of the TV fights, but
The problem, I'm gonna try to answer that question myself too, but we might see those fights. The issue is gonna be, are you gonna be willing to pay for it? You already know what's happening this Saturday with Mario Barrios versus Keith Thurman. They already put Charles Martin versus Luis Ortiz on pay-per-view. You may get the fights you want to see, but are you willing to pay for it? Right. That's the real question here. It's not necessarily if we're gonna get them or not. It's, are you willing to pay for what's being given to you?
There you go, guys. Do you agree with that, Chuck?
Well, I'm a boxing fan too. I watch all the fights. I buy all the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I have a good question from Richard Bautista, but I want to jump into a question that I had myself. His question is good, but I want to see this. You guys brought up something about there's guys that have nice records, you know what I'm saying? There's guys that have a lot of amateur. There's guys that have a right promoter behind them. But are those guys hard to match for you because they come with so much? You know what I'm saying? Or is that a little bit easier since you have a guy that has a lot of pedigree, or you have a guy that has a big promoter behind them, that it's a lot easier for you to match them?
So the way that works is, if I'm matching a promoted fighter, right, chances are that, to Stax's point, when there's money behind them, right? So when there's money behind somebody, it's easier to match the fight because there's more money to be made for the opponent, right? But if it's a really good fighter that has no promoter and there's no real money behind him, it's a nightmare. Yeah, it's not fun because I'm matching on a really strict, tight budget, But that's why, some of these big promoters and big promoted fighters, the opponents can get paid really well because the money's there, and they're trying to build their fighter how they want to build that person. So they put their money where their mouth is, so to speak.
And that even goes to the upper echelon of boxing as well. When you get to that championship level, you get people that are a high risk, low reward. You get some of these kids that are coming from, Eastern Europe with 7-0, 8-0, and they're ready to fight for a title, but nobody knows who the hell, these guys are, but they're a high risk, low reward. Nobody's going to pay. It's not a pay-per-view fight. You know what I'm saying? You get somebody like a Ryan Garcia in there against somebody, that there's money to be made, like Chuck's saying. So it is easier to match because when you get those high risk, low reward guys, man, nobody wants to fight them. Nobody wants to fight. They don't want to risk their They don't want to risk, their title. They don't want to risk anything on fighting one of these kids that are unknown and not make any money behind it. So it's just a fact, man.
Richard Bautista says, is there a card that Charles has put together that has been a memorable one for him?
A lot of them are. There's been a lot of shows that I walk out and I'm like, Jesus, I can't believe we just witnessed that tonight. There's several shows that just blow my mind. I mean, there's always a really good memorable fight on each show, it seems like. So not trying to toot my own horn, but it's seriously, I feel that way. I don't know how other people feel, but I feel that way, and that's just me.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I've been next to Chuck in a lot of shows, and Chuck even gets the chills, man, when he sees a good fight. I'm gonna say he's the first guy that says, "Oh, this one." You're thinking like the lower level of fights, you're not gonna really pay attention. He'll tap you like, "Hey, you want to watch this one? This one's really good." And you end up watching it, and it's the most entertaining fight of the card. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably between, like he says, two guys are like either 4-0, 3-0, trying to go at it, for an undefeated record. Boom, and it happens. Magic happens. You know what I'm saying? So
it reminds me of college football to pro football. When these guys are really hungry in college, and those guys do everything they can, right, to try to get some eyes on them. It's very, very similar at the club show level. It seems like.
Chuck don't even let me get a beer, man. I'm trying to get a beer, and he's like, "This was the one you want to watch." God, you gotta fly back.
He did that to me at one of the OC fight nights. He walked up to me. He's like, "Hey, what do you think?" I'm like, "It's gonna be a wash. This kid's gonna knock the shit out of this other kid, right?" He says, "You sure about that?" I'm like, "Yeah." Oh, damn! It turns into a war. The kid from Bakersfield that's gonna be fighting Kane. Him and Michael Myers ended up being a damn war, man.
Freaking war. Great fight.
Oh, that was a hell of a fight, man. And I turned and looked at him, and the same thing. I told you. I was like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. So that's what. Now I'm gonna ask a question that I don't think anybody has asked, and I don't know if this guys want to ask it. But okay, Charles, when you have an unsigned guy that is 10-0, 12-0, you know what I'm saying? Do you run into man, why aren't you signed? Like me, I even get those guys to hit me up. They hit me up. They're like, "Oh, I'm not signed. Can I go on the rundown?" Even I'm a little wait, dude, you're 10-0, you're 12-0, and you're not signed by a promoter yet. Why? What about that's from my end, because this is marketing. You know what I'm saying? Marketing. This is advertising. You know what I'm saying? But from a matchmaker's point of view, when you have somebody that's 10-0, 12-0, and not signed by a promoter or not signed by a management company, what runs through your mind?
A lot of things run through my mind if that happens. And are you referencing if a fighter were to contact me direct that's 10-0?
Yeah.
That says, "Hey, I don't have a promoter, I don't have a manager. Can you get me a fight?"
I want to fight in that show. I want to fight in that show. I want to fight at the OC Fight Club. I want to fight at the 360 show.
Yeah, there's again a lot of variables, right? Like, where were these shows? Where were these fights? Were they in Mexico? Were they all in TJ? Did his dad pay for them all? There's so many variables behind that. Or is this guy, was he signed at one point and then he was dropped? Or there's a lot behind that loaded question there. But usually you got to remember a 10-0 guy at the club show level is really rare to even put on if they're not backed by money with management and things of that nature. They're not I also will match other promoted fighters, right? From different promotional companies will sometimes buy slots, on Roy's card or Tom's card. So I'll be matching another promoted fighter. That would definitely raise red flags, when those types of situations come to the table, for sure. Yep.
One thing I would suggest too, also, for people that think that, oh, it's just easy to manage a fighter, or, oh, I'm going to sign this kid or whatever, man, you better do your homework, and you better, before you end up in any type of litigation, because a lot of these kids that say that, man, I've run across it a couple of times, man. And one was with somebody we know. I don't want to put his name out there, man.
No, don't put his name.
He contacted me, man, and he's like, "Hey, I need you to manage me and try to give me. I know you're close with Thompson. I know you're close with Chuck, and I knew who he was, and I already knew that he had a manager and was under contract with somebody. So I was like, no, I can't help you, man.
It's bad business, and I get that too. I get that too, and it's just
a lot of kids sign up and they don't know what they're signing the hell up for.
Right.
Don't understand the contracts. Then they start getting screwed out of it. Instead of, they jump the gun. Somebody flashes a little bit of money to them and they jump the gun, and then they're stuck, man.
Okay, this is a question for all of us. All right, let me see. But what divisions is the what divisions is the one that is going to stand out most in 2022? Okay, so what division is the one that's going to stand out in 2022 for all of us? Who wants to go first?
Let Chuck go first, man. He's the guest.
What division, huh? I want to say 154. I don't know why that number just came to my head right now. I don't even know everybody that's at the top level of 154, but for some reason.
So you got Charlo, you got Castellano, you got Jesse Vargas moving up to 54.
Yeah.
Liam Smith's there. You got Tim Zhu at 54.
I knew you were going to say him sooner or later.
You got it. Who else?
What about Terence Crawford and
Terence Crawford?
That's 147.
Jump as well.
I know, but why not 154?
He jumped to 154.
Yeah.
He's not getting the fights. I know.
And what about who's the golden boy kid? Virgil Ortiz. I know he's welterweight, but two, he seems like the type of kid that if he's just smashing everybody at 47, he's gonna go up. So I don't know.
Oh, so you like 154?
I like 154 for this year.
All right, for this year, I think Stacks likes 154. I already know why, but go ahead, Stacks. You're next.
I mean, I agree with Chuck 54, but I think the division that's going to stand out this year, I think it's going to be the featherweight division. And I tell you, now that Gary Russell has lost that title, I think we're going to see Maxayo defended a lot more. You have Navarrete that moved up to 26 from 22. You still have Leo Santa Cruz there at 126. He's going to be defending his title this weekend. So, there's a lot of action right there at 26. Joseto Gonzalez is there at 26. So I think featherweight, man. I think we're going to see a lot of good fights at featherweights. Adam Lopez is there. Adan Ochoa is there. They fought. Adan and them, they butted heads in the second round, so that ended up in no contest. But I think 26 is the division to watch this year. Featherweight.
Okay. Fern.
I'm stuck in a rut between two divisions. It's either 130 or 130 or 135. Okay. Those two are the divisions that I see. Obviously, 130 is starting off hot with Shakur versus Oscar Valdez. That's right there. 135, you can do anything with Gambosas, Lomachenko. Lomachenko himself can go down to 130. We got Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. So there's so many variables there. But I honestly, if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with 135. I think 135 is going to be the standout division of this year.
See, I think they're the deepest, and I think they have the best fighters, and the best fights could be made at 35, but I just don't see them making them. And that's the only reason I didn't go with lightweight, was because I just don't see those fights happening. I mean, those are fights I want to happen. I want to see Devin. I want to see Teofimo. I want to see Ryan Garcia in there against the best. But will they happen? I don't know. I can see Loma and maybe Loma and Cambosos, or Haney and Cambosos. But as far as those other guys fighting each other, I don't know if they're going to make it happen, man.
And this is why they call me the stinking genius, guys. Remember, we just said this year, right? This year, 2022,
right?
Look out for the heavyweight division, guys. I think the heavyweight division is the one that's going to make the most noise. People love the heavyweight division. People love the money in the heavyweight division. So I'm going with the heavyweight division is the one that's going to make the most money and the most heads. All right. Man, bro, Jaime Cosech's on fire, bro. Did you read that one, Fern?
No, what did he say?
Here we go. Here's a question for our guest. Hey, Chuck, how are you? I love matchmaking because Fern needs a lot of help.
Actually, I don't.
What? I love matchmaking.
Since you're a good matchmaker, can you actually go to love matchmaking as well?
Yeah. Damn, dude. I don't know.
Hey,
Dude,
yeah. I don't know what to say to that, man.
I got a girl for you out here in Norwalk, bro.
I'm all right, bro. No, I'm all right. Don't worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. Trust me. I'm good. Don't worry. I'm good.
Yeah, you guys are horrible.
The industries are pretty alike, I mean.
They say you gotta make some moves in silence. I've been in silent when it comes to that part of my life. Trust me, I'm good. I'm really good. Trust me.
Jorge Linares is fighting in February 19th against who?
Amir? That's a new one for me.
Who's he fighting?
Let me go and fucking find out.
Yeah, somebody find out with that. All right, man.
I'm actually going to the website right now to check and everything.
All right. Any more questions for him?
Man, that one just caught me.
All right. So here we go, man. If you had any advice,
he's fighting Zaur Abdullayev. It is a World Boxing Council Silver Light title bout, and it will be held in in Russia. Okay. He'll be fighting in Russia.
All right. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the guy he's fighting, bro. He's fighting in Russia. Why would that make any difference about him coming back and fighting some of the elite guys over here? No, that's not gonna make any sense. But okay. All right, man. Chuck, right now, we were talking about in 2021 when we had the bubble. Our advice, and I think your advice was also the same. Just stay busy, fighters. Stay busy, stay at way, because they were contacting everybody to fight. You know what I mean? They were just contacting people. What is the advice for 2022 for fighters? You know what I mean? What would you advise fighters for this year? Because now we have shows. We know that shows are not going to get canceled or shows are not going to go into the bubble. But what is it that you would advise fighters to do in 2022?
Obviously, to train and to stay motivated, right? Because now, to your point, we have shows again. You know, through the pandemic, I saw a lot of fighters retire, gain weight, move up in divisions, lose hope and focus. You know, so I would say to them, you know, get their stuff back together, get back on the bike, get, you know, back in the gym, stay focused, and this could be your year. You know, I mean, we got a lot of shows, especially here in Southern California. You know, but most importantly, to what Stax and I said at the beginning of the show, is loyalty, man. Stay loyal, and the people that, you know, helped you out, you know, stay loyal, you know, and be honest with yourself and your team and the people around you, unless they really truly don't have your best interest and they have really shown their true colors. That's a different story, right? But, you know, a lot of the times that's not the case. So yeah, again, you know, just stay true to your team and stay loyal and just dedicate yourself to the craft and the sport and train your butt off, you know.
Questions from you guys?
No, I'm still trying to get love matchmaker. I'm still waiting for that to happen.
God damn it, dude.
I'll start working on my contacts for you.
Yeah.
You see me. I'm 5'10", bro. So I'm not fat. So we're good.
Well, okay, dude. What does that have to do with anything? Can't fat people get any love? What, bro?
Hey yo.
What you hating the fat people, bro? Come on, dog.
This is the good thing. I love how Stax didn't say anything because he knows his weight loss is amazing. You, like Chuck just said, get on the bike.
I'm just saying, bro. You can't say that, bro, because you know right now it's cold weather. The ladies be loving that extra cushion right now, man. So don't worry about it, bro. Come on, dog.
Yeah, but they want extra cushion to be. They want extra cushion to be the big spoon. You at 5 foot nothing cannot be a big spoon.
All right. How many shows do you have planned already or mapped out for 2022, Chuck?
I think it's gonna be around 14. I want to say 14.
Damn, it's a busy 2022, bro. There you go. Business
is good, man. That's why we got to get all these local kids fighting, you know. But back to what everybody's been talking about tonight. You know, tickets. Your ticket sales are so important, and marketing yourself and you know, putting yourself out there so that you can put butts in seats are so important. Otherwise, the promoter's not going to want you on.
Exactly.
You know, so fighters got to do their part too, you know, with that, not just in the gym, but with their fan base, and they got the engagement, you know. So
okay, I have a question from Jesse Gonzalez. I think this is going to be the last question. All right. When is it okay for a fighter to make changes to their team? There has been fighters making moves and getting called up unloyal, but sometimes it's for the best, right?
Kind of like what I just said. I said unless there are situations or circumstances to where, you know, there's maybe a reason why it wasn't working, then that's a different story, right? If there's a cause for, you know, a change, then that's a different story. But Yeah, I mean, hey, man, fighters make adjustments and changes with trainers and coaches and things like that along their careers. Not all of them, but some of them do, and it's for most of the time their best, interest or what have you. But I've also seen fighters that change teams, and it's an awful mistake,
Right.
As far as trainers and such go.
And like you said, I think you have to look at the whole situation. Every situation is different, man. But if you have somebody that's loyal with you, that's been there with you from the beginning, and is getting you those fights and moving you along, and they have a plan in place, and somebody just comes and swoops you in for, hey, here's $10,000, sign this, or $15,000, sign this contract for the next 5 fights, and I can guarantee you this, but you don't see the fine print saying that he's going to take 45% of your money. You've got to have a team behind you.
45%.
Probably 25, not 45, more like 25, but
okay. All right, bro.
30 max.
Damn, bro, you got me on
Let's
that.
Charge you $10 for a Coke.
Hey, bro, you gotta make some money sometimes, All right. Chuck, give them your social media if you want to give them your social media before we head to the next segment.
CB Boxing 1, I believe it's under right now, or is it CB Chuck 1? Let me see.
Check it out, bro, first before we give it out. Dog. Well,
CB Boxing 1.
See, that's what happens
CB
when you
Boxing
change
1 on
teams.
Instagram.
That's what.
That's what happens when you change teams. You forget your social media.
A lot of names dealing with, man.
Yeah, just make sure you guys follow him, man. Do you want your
CB Boxing 1?
CB Boxing 1?
Yep.
So make sure you guys follow CB Boxing 1, guys. Follow Chuck, man. Chuck will try to get you guys going. If you guys want to get into the local shows here in SoCal, man, he's very involved. He's got 14 shows already for 14 for the year.
14. Uh-huh.
So there you go, guys. Come on, man. Let's make it happen. With that said, man, we're about to make some money for you guys. All right, let's do this. We got 3 events, man. We got 3 cards. I'm only gonna talk about co-main events, main events, and some of them I'll go to even the one before the co-main event. But here we go. We're gonna start in Wales, where Clarissa Shields is for a minute. She's pausing her MMA career and going back into boxing. So Clarissa Shields is fighting Emma Cosin. Who do we got on that one? She's returning to boxing. Let's make a prediction.
Clarissa Shields gonna win that. Unanimous decision.
UD. She ain't got no power, so UD.
Chuck, you want to give a prediction on that one, man? I don't know.
Clarissa Shields for sure.
I'm with everybody. I got the T-Rex. Clarissa Shields getting the unanimous decision, guys. Woo! All right. The next one, man. The co-main event for this card is Chris Jenkins versus Julius Indongo. Did you guys know that Indongo was still fighting?
No.
No.
So here we go. He is the co-main event for the Eubanks fight. So Chris Jenkins versus Julius Indongo. Who do we got, man?
I don't even know much on Jenkins to say anything, but if the fact that Ndongo was the opponent, he might actually go in there and try to upset someone. I need to check what Ndongo's actually done since the Terence Crawford loss. But
right.
Give me a second.
All right. Who wants to go? Who wants to make a prediction?
Ndongo gets KO'd.
Who?
Ndongo gets KO'd.
Bam! Ndongo gets KO'd. Fucking Chuck. Effing Chuck. Effing Chuck got it. Effing Chuck stuck my thunder. But here we go. I'm going to make a prediction. I also got Chris Jenkins, and I think it's going to be a KO. It's going to be an early KO. I don't think it goes past 5 rounds. Boom. Next. Who wants to go next?
No, I don't know anything about Jenkins, but I'm going to go with him. Ndongo's been inactive. I haven't heard anything about him in the boxing community for a long time. So I'm going to go with Jenkins. I'll say a TKO late round, ninth round TKO.
All right. Since the Terence Crawford loss, he's won 1 fight and has lost 3. All fights have ended in TKO. So if you go by the pattern, this fight will end in TKO. And I will be going with Mr. Hold on. I will be going with Mr. Oh, wow. Here's the issue. Mr. Chris Jenkins is 22-4-3. He only has 8 KOs. Wow. And Ndongo is 23-4 with 12 KOs. He may, you know what? I'm going with the upset. I'm going to go with Ndongo. Winning by TKO.
All right. So, first, you're the lone wolf, the first one of the year. First lone wolf of the year. All right, guys. So let me go to the main event. Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Liam Williams. What do we got?
Eubanks.
Eubanks.
Knockout.
Knockout? Everybody knockout?
Yeah.
All right, so Chris Eubanks by knockout. Okay, so from Wales, we only have one lone wolf, and that's Fern. Fern is going with Julius Indungo on the co-main event, guys. So that's just for this card. Now we go to Phoenix, Arizona, the card that has changed more than anything, more than underwear.
That thing's changed and morphed and mutated more than COVID itself.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go, man. So I'm only going to talk about the main event because now I don't even know if there's even fights in the undercard. So just the main event. And this is something that you guys wanted us to hit on. Yes, Jesse Bam Rodriguez is replacing Sir Rung Besai, who tested positive for COVID. So the main event now is Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Carlos Cuadras. Who do we got?
I'm gonna go with Bam, and I think it's gonna be a war, man. Cuadras is tough. Cuadras is hella tough. He's a warrior. He's been in there with everybody and anybody you can imagine, including Chocolatito, including Gallo Estrada, Sorong Basai. Bam, he's coming up, and I think he's gonna catch Cuadras at the right time of his career, and I think he's gonna win. I'm gonna say a majority decision in a war, man. I think it's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Okay, you got Bam.
I got Bam.
Decision?
Yeah, majority.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'm gonna second Stacks' notion there. I honestly think as much motivation that Carlos Cuadras is and everything like that, he was the opponent. You know what I'm saying? He was the B-side to Sarung Busai. And yes, this is a last-minute replacement, and last-minute replacements actually have a good track record against people who aren't expecting them to fight them and train for another style. Again, Carlos Cuadras was the B-side to this. I'm actually going with Bam.
By majority decision too?
I'm gonna go split. I'm gonna go split.
Okay. Chuck, you're next.
I am going with Bam Bam, and he is gonna knock out Cuadras by stoppage. Bam Bam, that kid is a whirlwind of craziness to deal with in that ring. And I just see, because Carlos Cuadras is very, he's very unorthodox in the sense that, he moves a lot. He does some weird, different types of movements in the ring. And I just see him doing something dumb. You know how he showboats too sometimes?
Yeah.
And I just see Bam Bam catching him and not playing and falling into any of those traps or games.
I'm with Chuck on this one. I'm a very good fan of Bam Rodriguez, and I think Bam gets it done too. I think he's either going to get a TKO or he's going to get a KO.
I love your hypocrisy. I love your hypocrisy. Earlier in the show, we're here to be not biased, unbiased, and right now I'm a very big fan of Bam.
I am.
Come on, I love your hypocrisy.
I am. Okay, I am.
I love that hypocrisy.
I am. On this one, I am a fan, bro. So, he's been on the up on me.
No, I know.
So with that said, I'm gonna pick him. You know what I mean? Cuadras to me is going on up.
A lot of fans might not really know who he is because he's not a household name yet. He's the younger brother to Joshua Franco.
Yeah,
so he's Joshua Franco's younger brother. So he gets quality sparring. Franco fights at Superfly. They're both about the same size. They're little guys. Bam's actually moving up from 112 to 115 on this fight. But yeah, I still think he has enough power to carry with him those 3 pounds to to do some damage. But like I said, it's going to be a war. Expect a war Saturday night between those two guys.
That might actually be the fight of the weekend.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too, bro. I think so too. I think on this one we all picked the Bam Rodriguez. We all have them either by split decision, majority decision. Chuck and I have them by either KO or TKO. All right, guys. With that, let's go to Las Vegas, bro. All right. On this one, I'm gonna do 3 fights. I'm gonna start with Luis Nettie and Carlos Castro. I think this is gonna be fireworks. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Let me know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fireworks. Hopefully Castro has tightened up his defense a little bit. His defense looked bad against Escandon. He took some knots. Yeah, he did beat Oscar Escandon, but he took a few lumps that fight, and that's going to happen every once in a while. But you know, Neri's a banger, and Neri's moving up in weight to fight Castro at 22 from 18 to 22. Yes, Neri has had trouble making weight. Will his power carry with him to 22? I don't know, but I still think that it's going to be a hell of a fight. You know, we seen Neri in his last fight take a loss to Brandon Figueroa at the
right. Body shots, you know. So him and Castro, man, I think it's going to be a good fight. I'm going to go with Castro by decision. I'm going to go with Castro by decision on that fight, Carlos Castro. All right. Who wants to go next?
I'm not a fan of Neri, so I'm definitely going to pick against him. I think Neri has completely just gone off the rails when it comes to weight and everything and how undedicated he's been to the sport. And it's actually showing in his fights, especially the Figueroa fight. So I feel that Castro's basically going to have the same plan as Figueroa. He's going to go in there. He's going to work the body. He's going to try to tire him out, try to weather the early storm that Neri, where he's going to have his full strength. And after that, he's probably going to finish him off in the 6th or 7th round, to be honest. All right. Chuck.
Yeah, I would agree with, you know, as soon as these guys start, you know, showing signs of missing weight and, you know, little things like that, those are telltale signs to me of, you know, not taking this serious as they should be, you know, so I will definitely go with Castro on this.
By TKO, decision, or KO?
You know what? I'll go with the decision, actually.
Decision. All right. Damn, you all right. On this one, it's crazy because to me, I actually thought this would be fight of the weekend, but once Bam jumped into the picture for that Cuadras, he kind of has, like I said, the upper hand to be fight of the weekend. But I think this one's gonna have fireworks, and I'm gonna agree a little bit with Fern on this one. And I think the body work is gonna do the damage for Luis Nettie. So what I'm saying is Carlos Castro, 6th to 8th round. You know what I mean? It'll be a stoppage, a TKO. I think the body work will be done, and you know we're gonna get a victory for Carlos Castro, who deserves also a title shot, just like Danny Roman deserves a title shot, man. So hopefully these guys start getting, you know, more airtime to get a title shot. All right, let's go to the co-main event, guys. Leo Santa Cruz versus Keenan Carvajal. We all know who Stacks has. Who do you have, Stacks? Let them know.
Man, I got Leo.
What?
Famoso Terremoto Santa Cruz by vicious knockout. I want to say the 5th or 6th round. I think he's going to be a little hesitant because, you know, him, of course, getting knocked out by Tank Davis. You know, I think he's going to be a little hesitant. But once Leo starts going, Leo's never been in a fight that wasn't exciting. And I think he's just too big and too strong for Keenan. He's going to put Keenan's ass to sleep.
Ooh, all right. Next, who wants to go?
I agree. There is going to be a devastating KO in that fight. Yeah.
Yep.
Who do you got?
Fight. Go ahead.
You got Leo too?
Yeah, Leo's gonna devastate the Carpenter.
All right. Damn.
I'll say this. This is going to be early candidate for knockout of the year. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be a culmination of Leo getting back that knockout he got from Gervonta Davis. He's gonna have that still, and he's just gonna go like, nope, I'm gonna have a more devastating knockout versus somebody else. And I think he's gonna it's probably gonna end early. I say 4th, 5th round.
Damn. All right. Here's my prediction, guys. You guys know that I started with the Leo camp, and I can never go against my boy Leo Santa Cruz. So with that said, I also agree. I think it's gonna be an early night. I'm gonna do this. I never do rounds like this, but I'm gonna say Leo Santa Cruz gets it done in the 3rd round. 3rd round KO, boom, over. All right.
So none of us have it going past 5, and all of us think it's gonna be a brutal KO.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Could be a decision, a split majority.
There you go. All right, man. With that said,
you imagine world.
I know, bro.
What?
All right.
Watch it be a draw.
Yeah. Oh, hell no.
Draw. There's no way.
All right.
Watch it be a draw, and Ruckus did not call his usual famous draw that he usually loves to do.
Let me give out a big shout out to one of our friends and a great photographer, Mr. Willie Romero. Shout out to Willie Romero, man.
Willie, what's up?
Oh,
What up, Willie? Here we go. I'm going to go to the main event, guys. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios. Let's do predictions.
Keith Thurman. He will beat Barrios down like Tank Davis did. The issue with Keith obviously is going to be his inactivity to almost 2.5 years being out of the ring. How is he going to look with ring rust and everything like that? But then at the same time, you got to also ask how Mario Barrios is going to come back after a loss like that to Tank Davis. And you got to take into consideration his ring rust because he took time off after that as well. Plus, he's moving up into a new weight division. And you got to realize that Keith has been established at 147. Everything that I'm thinking about, everything that I've seen variable-wise points in the favor of Keith Thurman. And I think he stops him in the 11th or 12th round, just like Tank did.
Ooh, a lot of corazones. All right, go ahead. Who's next?
Wait, Chuck.
Man, the more and more I think about this particular fight, with the kind of what you were just touching on, with the ring rust and things like that and coming off of losses. I mean, those are all things that you have to keep in mind and also consider when it comes down to, each individual fighter, because some guys that devastates them and they struggle to come back from that loss or the way that they lost or what have you, or the ring rust. But I don't know why I feel like Mario Barrios pulls it off.
Damn you!
I have a weird feeling. I have a weird intuitional feeling that this layoff for Keith Thurman is not gonna serve him right. And I think that Mario Barrios, that loss has really lit a fire under his what, because let's be honest, that kid can fight. Yeah. And he's got balls bigger than what. So yeah, and I'm not saying balls will win the fight necessarily against Thurman, but what I'm saying is who wants it more. And I just think I have a feeling Barrios might be coming back and with the vengeance. I don't know. We'll see. But, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Barrios.
Go ahead, Stacks.
Yeah, I'm with Chuck, man.
God damn!
Barrios, bro.
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me I'm gonna be the lone wolf again on this.
Yeah, I think so, man. Because you know what?
Don't tell me.
I mean, Keith Thurman picked it up too late in that Pacquiao fight. He got caught, switching stances. Pacquiao put him down. No, he wasn't hurt, but it was a flash knockdown, and those points, they added up, and it was a little bit too much for him to overcome. He hasn't fought. I mean, and Barrios, man, he was a big 140. I think he's going to carry that weight to 147. I think it's actually
very big.
Actually going to help him, and he's going to be able to use his distance and his speed. Yep. And I'm not saying Thurman's not fast; they both got speed, but I think if Barrios can control the distance and he can pop that jab, I think he can outbox him, man, and actually stun and stop Thurman. I'm gonna go with Barrios, and I'm gonna go the exact opposite as Fern. I'm gonna go with the late round TKO, 11th or 12th, but for Barrios.
Okay.
Here we go. Fern, all you gotta go back to Thurman versus Joseto Lopez. You know what I mean? And he was more active, you know what I mean, back then. So to me, like, for the reasons that you're saying and you're picking Keith Thurman, those are the same reasons why I'm picking Mario Barrios. I think the inactivity, I think that Mario Barrios is a legit fighter, you know what I mean? I think he's gonna rebound pretty good. And I think Keith made a bad decision by trying to go back to fighting, you know what I'm saying, against Mario Barrios. I think Mario Barrios should have taken somebody else, you know what I mean, to welcome him to the 147s. But you know what? Fights are made, man. This is a great fight, guys. I'm going to go with Mario Barrios also by a TKO. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a late stoppage. And with that, we have another lone wolf for the year, bro. Go ahead.
First and second lone wolf of the year. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Let's do this. And I'm gonna be right on both of them, and I'm gonna be right on both.
Yeah, exactly. You could pull off right now. You could become the leader of the board right now. You know what I mean?
And I want to say this now, Stacks. I still owe you that steak dinner for last year. But remember, I was the one that actually picked Barrios to beat Gervonta Davis. Right. I was the only one that.
No. Yeah.
So it's like I'm not in no way, shape, or form disrespecting Mario because I know the skill the kid has, but. Right. I even with the layoff, I just still think Thurman has a little bit more. I haven't seen Mario at 147. I don't know. Obviously, we saw the resistant level at 140 versus Tank. Can he take that resistant level against 147 against a puncher like Thurman? And that's where it's kind of like so questionable for me. And that's why I'm picking Thurman on that.
All right. And since Chuck was so on point, man, Chuck, we're getting the beer at the OC Fight Club, bro.
What? That's how we roll.
Yeah.
Beer.
And hey, wait. And they have beers there, bro. I don't know. I haven't asked Chuck. Chuck, do they have hard liquor there?
Yes, at the bar in the back, and then also next door at the taco place.
All right, so there you go, bro. So Fern, we're probably gonna end up getting bourbon, bro, or Jameson. So let's not worry. Okay, so that might just flip everything. So we're all. I mean, are you going Stacks on February 17th?
What time does the show start on February 17th?
Oh, you gotta be there early, bro.
First fight is at 7:30.
Oh, that's perfect. I'll leave work like at 4.
All right, the Stacks, are you going? Wake up, bro.
I'll be there. I'm there every time, bro. You guys always say you guys are gonna show up and never show up, man.
I actually have never said that I'm going. Never have I said I'm going to the OC. This is the first time I said it. All right.
I have to go because Chuck put me in the mix on that one, bro. He put me. I'm gonna see you there when he tagged me on the poster, bro. So now I have to go.
Hey,
so I'm gonna be going to the OC fight.
If you come in from Chino, park right here in Whittier, and we'll all go together.
All right, I got you. We'll do that.
Yeah,
I'm coming from LA, so.
No, bro. We're not gonna go wait for you there, bro. Let's just meet us there.
That's right.
Meet us there, bro. All right. With that, guys, thank you very much. Chuck, give them again your social media, and then everybody, guys, give them your social media. Chuck, go first.
CB Boxing 1 on Instagram. That's where you guys can follow me. You can follow all the upcoming fight cards, all the shows coming up, and yeah. And again, if you're a fighter, manager, trainer, and you want to get your guy a fight, feel free to message me there, or you can send me an email as well. That's on my page.
All right, guys, there you go. Who wants to go first for your media, guys?
LA Fern _323 on Instagram, Fern _323 on Twitter. My name, Fernando Pimentel, right here up on Facebook. Hit me up. Want to shoot the shit and want to shoot the stuff and want to talk baseball, basketball, football, freaking boxing, whatever. Talk to me. I'm game for anything.
All right. Go ahead, man. Except for love. All right.
On Instagram at Stacks _ringside. And then on Supreme Boxing on all the social media pages, Twitter, IG, Facebook, YouTube, Supreme Boxing. So you can follow us there. We also have supremeboxing.com. You can find us on our website. And then my personal Facebook page, Anthony Stacks Saldana.
All right. And I did promise this. I know Tony just reminded me. I will allow Fern. I did say that I was going to give Fern some time for that. All right, guys. Don't forget, thank you very much for always supporting the Boxing Rundown. Last week, we had 100,000 followers. We're above that now, guys. Thank you very much for, always following, always pushing us, and always making us succeed, man. So we have, more followers this year. Make sure you guys check out the reels. We have reels out on Instagram and also on Facebook. But we also have, I think they call them something else on YouTube. What do they call them on YouTube?
I don't know what they call them on YouTube.
I don't know what they call them on YouTube, but we also have them on YouTube, guys. So make sure you guys follow the Boxing Rundown on YouTube. For all your friends that don't have Facebook, let them know about the Boxing Rundown on YouTube, okay? All right, Fern, hit us up with that Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble was actually decent, but at the same time it was dull. It started off with Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Really good fight. Yeah, trust me, you guys don't know. Don't worry about it. Whoever does know WWE knows what's up. Really good fight. Went into their past and everything. Awesome. The biggest things that you guys need to know, Royal Rumbles weren't all that done well, but the women, Ronda Rousey won it, so she's going to fight either Charlotte Flair or Becky at WrestleMania, and Brock Lesnar won the male Royal Rumble. He'll either fight Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. It's going to be dope. Trust me. The shows are usually pretty good throughout this time up until WrestleMania, so if you're into wrestling, keep watching. Hit me up about it. We can chat.
Even Chuck's like, what happened?
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, bro.
Hey, bro. Yeah, he's a big Mexican.
No, hey, that's cool.
Hey, you guys want to talk Marvel movies? We can talk Marvel movies too. We can talk DC movies. Especially with the new Batman coming out.
All right, guys. With that said, thank you, Chuck, for being with us, man. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
See you all next week, guys. Same bad channel, same bad time. Different crew all the time. All right?
It's the other way around, but okay.
Whatever, bro.